Here at Rutgers, New Brunswick, there are 80 recognized fraternities and sororities. For many of the 3,800 members, membership is an indispensable part of the college experience. But these groups also have a reputation for drinking excessively and being nuisances on campus. Despite making up less than 16% of student organizations, Greek life groups generate more than 80% of organizational code of conduct reports.
According to Rutgers, 18 chapters have houses in the city. So to figure out what's going on at those houses, we filed an open public record request with the university.
We asked for incident reports from 2017 to the present mentioning these addresses, but Rutgers couldn't give us the reports. They told us that in just 5 years, these 19 houses had generated so many police incidents that redacting names and personal information would take 150 employee hours. In fact, they said getting us the documents would be, quote, substantially disruptive to the university's operations. And those are just from the times the campus police showed up. So we narrowed our request to the 7 houses with the most mentions in the conduct records. But that was going to take weeks more of emails. Every time we email them, they can take 7 business days to get back, and you bet they did. So we tried the New Brunswick police. They said 93 dispatches mentioned the addresses, and they could get us the reports for a hefty processing fee.
Okay, so I'm outside City Hall, and I'm about to walk in there and hand them the $81 they asked for. So, hopefully that does the trick.
A little background. Rutgers has disciplined Greek life groups in the past, like in spring 2015 when they tried banning parties. But historically, Rutgers rarely withdrew recognition from chapters. Withdrawal of recognition means the college no longer lets them recruit or fundraise through the university, or operate on campus. It can be permanent, but usually only lasts a few years. They did this to 2 in 2015 and 1 in 2016, relatively few, but scrutiny against frats has since escalated. On December 9, 2017, freshman Kenneth Patterson left a party at Theta Delta Chi intoxicated. Hours later, he was killed by a train trying to cross the Northeast Corridor at Jersey Avenue, 2.5 miles away. 2 years later, Patterson's mother sued Theta Delta Chi and Rutgers, believing they were responsible for her son's death. While Rutgers denied responsibility, they certainly changed their practices. Since Patterson's death, Rutgers has withdrawn recognition from 21 fraternities and 3 sororities.
All right. We noticed by looking at the student conduct reports that when there's an incident, the university will reach out to the international headquarters of the fraternity and have them take the lead on the investigation, and they will wait for their response. We noticed that in fall of 2021, there was an allegation in October about new members being yelled at. And in the notes of the thing, it says the contact requested ISQ to investigate. ISQ has not been communicative and that they have reached out. The university expected the international headquarters, the national chapter of the fraternity, to man the investigation, which is kind of weird when this is an organization on school grounds and on campus.
Rutgers will follow the lead of the IHQ throughout the discipline process. For instance, IHQs can recommend probations, and Rutgers told us that if the IHQ withdraws recognition from a chapter, it's the university's policy to follow suit. Chapters can find themselves unrecognized after the number or severity of infractions reaches a certain threshold, but for some chapters, the threshold seems awfully high. For example, there's Chi Phi, which came to Rutgers in 1867. As of last year, its 91 members had an average GPA of 3.9, but you wouldn't guess that from their disciplinary record. In 2018, they hosted parties while on suspension. Then, while they were under investigation for hazing in 2019, they hosted a party where 4 people were assaulted, and apparently also more hazing. Last fall, they were investigated for, quote, non-compliance with the law and made to take a fire safety workshop. And last spring, Rutgers Police Dispatch recorded a fight. Then there's Delta Phi. It was actually the first fraternity at Rutgers, with the chapter founded in 1845. But in fall 2018, this prestigious chapter was found guilty of hazing. And in fall 2020, a guest was assaulted at one of their parties. Last fall, they were investigated for hazing again after somebody overheard members talking about hazing in public. But the report simply says outcome pending. This semester, there were 2 instances of assault and 1 instance of, whatever you call this. So, anyway, I sent them these really softly worded emails, but they weirdly never got back, leaving me with no choice.
Hi, my name's Alex. This is kind of a weird request, but I'm doing a student journalism project.
So it didn't work, but we did find some stuff on other chapters.
And by stuff, I mean serious crimes or medical emergencies.
We got hundreds of pages from the university and the New Brunswick PD. 14 counts of hazing, 13 fights, 4 involving guns, 14 assaults, 1 group beating, terroristic theft, 11 visits from the EMS, and 13 alcohol poisonings. 3 of the assaults we found were sexual assaults. 1 was back in 2018, and soon after, the chapter was closed, but 2 were this fall. The media has not reported on any of them, and it's not clear what the university plans to do with Alpha Sigma Phi or Phi Kappa Tau, where the assaults occurred. We'll just have to wait and see.
So, did we uncover anything surprising? Well, no. But see, that's the problem. Imagine if Hillel was caught hazing, if the chess club had a sexual assault, or if someone walked out of the Targum with a literal skull fracture. You'd hear about it. But apparently, if those exact same crimes are committed here, or here, or here, it isn't even news.
What is the worst fraternity on this campus?